Hello everybody, I am here with another video, a different type of video, not a review, not a Dokkan video, but a fun little video I thought would be an interesting thing to talk about. With Dragonball Super going in this new direction, with this new arc taking things a lot darker, with this Goku Black being the talk of the town, I figured that it would be fun to talk about the top 5 fan theories going on about this guy, because we're at a very special moment in Dragon Ball Super right now where everybody is in the dark. There's not the half that don't know and are trying to avoid spoiling themselves, and then the half that do know and will scream it from the rooftops about what they know. Everybody is in the same spot, and it's great right now because nobody knows much about Goku Black. Nobody knows about what's going on with Trunks' future. Is Mai dead or alive? Nobody has these answers, and it's a very good time to be in the Dragon Ball Super fan base because right now we're all in the same boat, and it's great. And this is a moment we're not going to get back after we know all this information. So I figured it'd be a fun little thing to go through the theories of Black Goku given to me by a few of my buddies in my Dokkan battle group that is ran by Ichigo. I've compiled a list of 5 fan theories of Black Goku, or Goku Black, or whatever you want to call him. And this will range from the retardedly hilarious, insanely ridiculous to the, more likely believable ones. So we're going to start it off with the first fan theory. We're going to go in the order of what I think is the most ridiculous to the most possible. So, let's go. This theory has come up. I don't know how it started. I'm pretty sure it has to do with his clothing because he wears the long sleeves like Goten does, even though Goten doesn't even wear long sleeves anymore. He's gone to sleeveless like his papa. But the thought about this is just ridiculous. There's so many things that I could say that could debunk this theory. Black as Goten makes no sense. Now I see why people want this because they want to have best friends go against each other. Trunks in the regular, current timeline are best buds. So having buddy against buddy just seems like a really awesome story. And it would be, but you got to think, future Trunks isn't best buddies with Goten. If somehow Goten does exist in the future, Trunks didn't know him. Like, there's no way that there would have any type of relationship. And it wouldn't be best friends going against each other. It would just be Goten, which doesn't make sense, going against Trunks, who don't really know of each other. But how could Goten exist in this timeline? Goku and Chi-Chi were not able to get it on to have Goten because Goku was dying of a heart virus for a long period of time. Or you could say I don't think he died instantly because the heart virus in the present timeline didn't just take his life or anything like that. It took a while he was suffering from it. So I don't really think that Chi-Chi was thinking about, oh, you know what, let me get some action while my husband's possibly dying right now. I don't think that was the furthest thing from their mind. Like, Goten wasn't even conceived until around the time of the Cell games and the time of peace before the Cell games took place. So how could there be a Goten in the future when Goku and Chi-Chi wouldn't be able to create the seed which would become Goten? It just doesn't make sense. Now, this is Akira Toriyama, and he could debunk my saying of how ridiculous it is and make it true, which would hurt me very much because I don't even know how you could spin that to make sense to everything else. So I'm not saying that these theories are dumb completely, because Akira Toriyama can do anything he wants, and if it ends up being Black Goten, if it ends up being Goku Black is Goten, then so be it. And I guess people who said that it was could be right, but I think this started because of a Dragon Ball Heroes poster, or a picture posted up of Dragon Ball Heroes promoting Goku Black, and whoever drew the artwork made him kind of look like Goten. And I think that's what started this whole theory, and made it snowball and it made it this whole thing. I just think it's the most ridiculous theory. So we had to get this one out of the way right now. So let's go on to the fourth theory. Now this one I'm not really that much of a fan of. I can appreciate the callback to the androids, but at the same time I don't like how this could, like, what would be the story here? Gero had another lab underneath his lab that had Goku Black, and why would Gero make an android that looks like Goku when he hates Goku so much that I doubt he would want to see his face, unless this is like a failsafe. But then we're just going into Android 13 type of territory. Like, he had a smart computer underneath his lab that nobody knew about, that wasn't affected by when it was destroyed by everyone, and it created this guy. Also, the Android thing has been done. Like, I love Android 18. I love Android 17. Like, anybody who knows me knows that androids, or the Jinzoninjins, or the cyborgs, are like some of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. So don't think I don't like this android theory because I don't like androids. I freaking love androids. They're like my favorite characters. I wish that they were utilized better in Dragon Ball. Like a lot of people wish a lot of people were utilized better in Dragon Ball. But the fact that Goku Black being an android is just really hard to believe for me. I don't think that's the case. And I don't know, I think it would be lazy if it was the case. But again, Akira Toriyama could do it. Who knows? Because Goku Black doesn't seem to be a Saiyan. He doesn't seem to be Goku. He doesn't really seem to be, what they put out for us to think he is. It seems like the only thing that makes him Goku is his face. We don't even know if he can transform, or if he has the ability, or how strong he is. So, Android, well, also, before we go on to the next one, Trunks did mention that he learned how to sense ki, which I guess could kind of, I think it fits more to a theory of him being anything but a Saiyan. But anyway, that'll lead us to this next one, which debunks what I just said about him not being a Saiyan. There's many reasons why this doesn't work. Universes in Dragon Ball do not work like that. Okay, Whis has set the rules up, and people seem to not follow these rules, and I don't know why, because they made it really clear, which they don't make a lot of things really clear in Dragon Ball Super, but this they made super clear. There are 12 universes total. Every universe that equals to 13 is the opposite of each other. They're the flip of the same coin. Whis has said this. This is in the series. This is in an episode, in the manga. All that. So the rules go by Universe 7 and Universe 6 equal 13. Universe 1 and Universe 12 equal 13, and so on. So they are similar, but they're not the same. Vados isn't a female Whis. Champa isn't a fat Beerus. Kaba isn't a Vegeta who looks shorter than him. They are different people who are of the same race because those races exist in both universes. There's no evil Goku in another universe because Goku doesn't exist in another universe. There may be a guy like Goku, but he wouldn't be called Goku because to make Goku, you gotta have Bardock and Gine, but they don't exist in that universe. It's somebody else. It's a different counterpart. Frost wasn't Frieza. Frost was Frost. He was of the same race as Frieza, but he wasn't a good Frieza. He wasn't a good anything, we find out. But he wasn't a good Frieza. He was a bad Frost. Like, he was a different person altogether. His genealogy was the same because the universes are twins. But that doesn't make him the guy that we know, just in a different version of himself. So the universes don't work like that. Even when they're twins, they're not the same thing. They're different people. They just have similar traits and they come from similar backgrounds, but that's it. Planet Vegeta, well, what would be Planet Vegeta in the Universe 6 isn't destroyed. It's still around because the Saiyans aren't the same people. They're good. They're peace fighters. So the whole other universe Goku just doesn't make sense to me because it doesn't follow any of the rules that has been stated in Dragon Ball Super that we have seen, like, at all. It just doesn't make sense. I'm gonna make this one a little quick because I don't really like this one at all. First off, Ginyu had already come back in Dragon Ball Super. And honestly, I like Ginyu, but it was a total mistake. It totally ruined Tagoma's character development. Didn't like it. Ginyu's been back already. I don't think they would bring him back again, much less make him seem like such a threat. Yes, I know technically Ginyu Frog was still on Earth even in the future, but even in the future, he probably got killed. I mean, he's a frog. This Goku Black, if not Goku Black, the androids probably destroyed something and he got crushed by a building or something. Like, the thought of it being Ginyu is just, I hope it's not, because that's overkill. I love Ginyu, but he needs to be put to rest. Like, he's came back. That's been done. Let's move on. Told you I'd go quickly through that one. Now here's the one that I like and the one that I think makes the most sense. Goku Black is a Makai Ocean / shapeshifter. Now what do I mean by that? Let's start with the shapeshifting thing. In the first episode we see Goku Black, we're watching him move through the fog like a demon, like some kind of entity that doesn't have a body. He's moving like he doesn't have a form. Now you could say this is artistic impression, which it probably was, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if after this first episode we never see Goku Black do anything like that again, because that was just to show his menace and to not reveal who he was. So they kind of made these odd little shapes and, you know, this blur and this foggy monster looking creature. So I don't really know if that's going to be happening again. I would like if he kept doing stuff like that throughout the series because it looked really neat. But I think it was just to make him seem like a real threat. And they didn't want to reveal him until the end and essentially make his reveal at the end more intense and more impressive. So I don't really think that's going to be happening again. But if he is a shapeshifter, then that would make sense to why he was able to make his body look like it was nothing. But he was also shrouded in fog a majority of the time when he was in that quote unquote form. So you could just say it was just a fog that blurred our view of him. And him being a shapeshifter does sound like an interesting thought, and it could also tie into him being a Makai Ocean, because he could be a Makai Ocean that somehow, some way decided that he would take the body or the physical look of Goku's body, even though he's a little bit thinner, which should be mentioned, and for some reason he wanted to put on Goku's face. And other people have said that he may be the green Kai that we see in the opening, which I don't really think that he is that guy, but I do think that it's possible that he could be being controlled by that guy. I don't think he himself is a Makai Ocean. If anything, he may be somebody who is being controlled by a Makai Ocean. Some people have said that a Makai Ocean have completely reanimated Goku's body and turned it evil, which seems a little bit dark for Dragon Ball, but I don't know, it just seems a little bit odd that a Makai Ocean would randomly decide to bring Goku back to life just to make him an evil puppet, but it could be the case. And I should mention that the Makai Oceans have been mentioned in the past by Akira Toriyama. It's like he wanted to do something with them. They do exist. We've never seen them in the series, but you know, texts that have come out after Dragon Ball ended and stuff like that did say that Makai Oceans did exist, because Kais come from a tree, and I can't remember the exact timeline, but I think every year or so, evil Makai Ocean, an evil Kai is grown from this tree, and that Kai is what they call the Makai Ocean. They're an evil Kai that is a bad guy, pretty much. So it's possible that Goku Black could be a Makai Ocean. I think that's the one that I believe in the most. This shapeshifter thing could also go with that. If he is a Makai Ocean, it would make sense that he would shapeshift. Or if he is being controlled by a Makai Ocean. You gotta keep in mind that green guy in the opening. We don't know much about him. The opening confuses it, because they make him seem like he's not that bad of a guy, but then at the end he looks more menacing, and he's like right next to Goku and Black Goku, or Goku Black. So it's kind of a toss-up. Maybe he is the one who is in charge. Maybe he's a good guy who helps. We don't know that. and that's an exciting thing. But anyway, that has been my top 5 fan theories of Goku Black. Keep in mind, after this video is out, we'll have a brand new episode of Super in a day or so, and we'll know more, and all these theories could be debunked, and a whole new thing that nobody thought about could be the case. But that's neither here nor there. I'll see you next time. Still don't have an outro, so peace.